Hi, everyone. We are so glad that you are here for this combating allergy workshop. Allergies can be no fun at all. Trust me, I get it. But the good news is that there are solutions for you that are natural, things you can do at home, things you can do with whole food supplements to really support your body's detox and also get rid of these allergies. Now, as a caveat at the beginning of this, we are not treating or diagnosing anything. We are simply using foods and dietary and lifestyle choices to support the body. So, now that that's out of the way, let's dive into how you can combat allergies naturally. Our webinar goals today. We are going to answer the following questions. What are allergies and histamines? What's the liver got to do with it anyway? How do we actually combat the allergies? And can kids get relief too? What is an allergen? An allergen is a substance, usually harmless to most people, and it triggers a specific immune response, which tends to lead to unwanted symptoms. So, if an allergen comes into your body and your body says, I can't handle this, I don't love this, what's going on, it'll trigger the immune system to say, get it out of here. So that's the ideal way. Now, if there's a bunch of blockages, if there's a bunch of stuff going on with your digestive system or your detox system, then that process can be thwarted a little bit. So we want to help support the body so the natural process of getting these substances out of the body can make it happen. So there are a few types of allergens we can encounter on a daily basis. One, environmental, which is why you are all here. Two, latex. Three, medications for animals or certain bugs, molds, perfumes, chemicals, and foods. So if your body has a high sensitivity to some of these allergens, you might have a lot of reactions to a lot of these. Or you might just have one reaction to one of them. Everyone's body is very different, but there are solutions to all of the above. Now, what does a histamine actually do? We've maybe heard this word before. It's not something that's a common word we use all the time. Basically, think about it as like the last point on this slide as a bouncer. It is something that's going to help bounce around the cells to say, you can come in or you're not welcome here. So it's actually a neurotransmitter, which is like a chemical messenger in the body, and it passes from one neuron to the other in the nervous system. So it's a communicator. It is a component of stomach acid. It helps to break down your food. And it's an inflammatory response mechanism. So basically, it's going to dilate the blood vessels to enable white blood cells to quickly reach and neutralize the invaders. So basically, if you've got an invader, think about them on like a high-speed chase. The histamine is going to open up the roadways. It's going to say, hold off traffic and let the police get to who they need to get to. So the histamine has a lot of roles in the body. It's all about protection of the cell and the immune system. Now, we can only handle so much histamine at one time. So, if we have an insect from insect venom, high histamine foods can cause a big histamine reaction. Alcohol or fermented drinks. Almost every tissue in the body has histamine within it, and allergic reactions. So, if you've got one, maybe two, maybe three of these things happening at the same time, that's a lot of histamine coming and trying to clear out the roads, manage the immune system, and see what's going on. So, it's really, really important that we want to keep the histamine externally, we want to keep it low so that way it's really managed properly in the body. Now, some symptoms of histamine response are going to be all of the things on this list: sneezing, runny nose or drainage, itching, rashes or hives, headaches, congestion, brain fog, indigestion, bloating, coughing and a sore throat, fatigue, nausea, vomiting, fever, and dizziness. So there are a lot of symptoms when the histamine are at it, trying to support the immune system, and they might not always feel great. And so we want to see how can we best support the immunity as your body's handling all these different types of allergens. And the other thing is that histamine responses are not going to happen just during the spring or fall allergy seasons. They can happen all year round. So if you have rashes or eczema, for instance, we want to figure out, why is that happening? Why is the body sending all the gunk out through the skin, whether that's allergy season or not? So we want to get to the root cause no matter what we're talking about. So this is a list of high histamine foods. So take a minute, pause the screen if you want. These foods are going to have high histamine reactions in the body. Now, it's not saying they're bad foods because, in fact, most of these foods are going to be healthy. They're going to provide a lot of nutrition. But if your body, specifically your liver, which we'll talk about in a minute, if your body is responding to a high histamine or has a low tolerance because the histamine response is so great, these are some of the foods you're going to want to avoid, or at least to limit. And maybe you don't limit them all year. Maybe you limit them the week before allergies maybe start, and then during allergy season. So we can really play with this. It's very personalized to your body, but this is a list of foods that if you have high allergy reactions, we want to avoid or limit these during allergy seasons. So we breeze through all of that very quickly, and it can really feel like a lot sometimes, especially when we look at that list of foods. And what does it even mean? Well, we are going to explain that, and we're going to talk about what I love to talk about if you're a current client is the liver. Now, if you take your hand and you put it at a diagonal south, right around your ribs on the right side, that is where your liver is. And your liver is one of the coolest organs, I think. I mean, the whole body is amazing, but the liver is the second largest organ of the body, and it is considered the body's garbage can because it filters out literally everything that comes in and then exits the body. So whether it's food and alcohol like we think, whether that's car exhaust, deodorant, perfume, emotions, sunscreen, whatever the cleaning products, whatever it is, it has to go through that liver. And that's what helps get it through the body and properly excreted. Now, the liver can become quite congested. And if it's congested, a few different things can happen. One, as the first thing mentions, you can feel a lot of bloating because if it's congested, your garbage can is overflowing, then all that food that's getting stuck in the liver or that area will just back up the rest of the system. So you might feel really bloated or have a lot of gas or burping. Your body might say, you know what? I can't have all these toxins floating through the system. Let me wrap a little fat cell around it. I'll put it in the storage closet and I'll deal with it later. Well, the problem is later never really comes because the liver is always trying to process all these toxins that keep coming, and more toxins keep on coming. And so we just tend to gain weight. And then if we do a quick weight loss solution, we'll get rid of the weight that is filtering at the moment, but all of those storage closets are still full of toxins. So if we ever talk about weight loss, we always want to talk about cleaning out those storage closets because otherwise, if we just get rid of this temporarily, we're probably going to gain it right back because we're not actually fixing the problem or the root of the issue, which is a congested liver. The third thing is that the body will say, I do not want these toxins anywhere. They've got to go. And the quickest way to do that is to send them through the largest organ of the body, which is the skin. So we might get a histamine response and have a bad rash. We might have acne. We might have allergies. So the body says, ooh, get it out. If the skin works directly with the immune system, so you might have all that congestion, you might have itchy eyes. The body's trying desperately to just get rid of the pollen, to get rid of the bacteria, to get rid of whatever invader it is. So those are the three different ways the liver operates if it's not operating properly. And so all of them come with unwanted symptoms. So we've got to look at the liver to make sure that it is functioning well. So you may experience some bloating, specifically above the belly button. You might have asthma, burping, pain between your shoulder blades, or right here at the base of your skull. If you have a lot of tension there and nothing seems to be helping, it's more than likely associated with liver function or detox function. Infrequent bowel movements, or something not on here, is if you have alternating. If you go from pebble-like bowel movements to really loose stool, kind of back and forth, that can be a liver function challenge as well. Dry or itchy skin or dandruff, hormonal imbalances, acne, or waking up in the middle of the night, specifically from about midnight to 3 a.m. So these are all signs that the liver is not ideally operating, and there are lots of things we can do to support that. Now, are kids also at risk for allergies? Yes, because kids have livers, they have histamine responses, and their little bodies can only handle so much. So when we have a ton of toxins coming in, and research says that there are more toxins in the world now than there ever have been throughout history, because we have all of the plastics, we have all of the food dyes, we have all the processed food, we have all the allergens, we have EMF, radiation exposure. I mean, there's so many toxins that our bodies are just trying to bear and to manage. And so kids are especially at risk for these allergies because their livers and their bodies are trying to manage so much more than ever in history, and their bodies are just littler. And so we really want to care for our kids who have allergies as well, or any other symptoms. So I am going to read this excerpt to you because it is fascinating. Kids' livers and immune systems are also on overdrive. So this is an excerpt from the Weston A. Price Foundation from one of the articles online. And the Weston A. Price Foundation is one of the top resources I send parents to learn about how to feed their kids well, how to learn about children's bodies. And it's absolutely amazing. So the issue of toxicity in our children was most disturbingly reported by the Environmental Working Group's release of an investigation called Body Burden in 2005. Okay, so this was a long time ago, So think about these numbers as we compare the dates. The report revealed that they detected 287 chemicals in the cord blood of newborn babies, 180 of which are known carcinogens. In other words, they cause cancer. 217 of which are known neurotoxins, meaning killing brain cells, and 208 of which have been shown to cause birth defects or abnormal development in animals. This insult to newborns is unprecedented in human history and lays the groundwork for a dramatic upswing in chronic illnesses as these children mature into adulthood. Now, this excerpt specifically is astounding because it's saying that in 2005, which is close to 20 years ago, this number of toxins was found in cord blood of babies. So babies are entering this world with 287 chemicals already in their body, more than they were designed to have. And so their bodies are already in fight mode. They're always saying, okay, I'm already in defense, versus you're just entering the world and your body has a lot to manage and learn and adapt to at the moment. So let's add 287 chemicals that are known to cause brain cellular damage and cancer. So this was 20 years ago too. So think about what those numbers are now, when all of the products we use, and again, all the things I mentioned with the environment and our foods, have just exploded, and how that's affecting our bodies. So we really want to care for our kids and how well their bodies are off to support proper detoxification. And if they have allergies or skin issues or asthma, things that I've mentioned already, we really want to work to support their bodies. Again, not treating anything, but just helping their little bodies with all the chemicals that they've been experiencing and will experience. So what do we do with these allergies? Now, there are going to be some at-home remedies we're going to talk about, whole food-based supplements we're going to talk about, and if there are any questions throughout this, please send me an email, because I want to make sure that I'm very available to you to answer any questions that you have about how you can best support your allergies. So, at-home solutions, dietary. The main thing is to avoid dairy. Now, people get really upset and they're like, no, not my cheese, not my yogurt. I get it. The thing is that dairy creates more mucus in your nasal cavity, in your throat, in your immune system. And so, especially during allergy season, or the week leading up to it, and then during the season, let's just decrease the dairy. I mean, ideally, we totally eliminate it. With kids, we really want to eliminate it. It causes a lot of other issues. But during allergy season, let's eliminate the dairy. It'll just decrease the amount of mucus in your body. Follow a low histamine diet. So that list we talked about a few slides back, we want to avoid or really, really limit those foods. Just during allergy season is fine. But if you're a person who suffers from allergies all year, that's something we might want to talk about a bit further in terms of a more long-term dietary plan. Consume local bee pollen or local raw honey. That can be a really great antidote to some allergies in the seasons. Learn your food triggers. People will spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on food intolerance or food allergy testing, and some of it can be really, really helpful and necessary. If you want to do it for free, what I recommend is taking one specific food, eliminating it for 2 whole weeks, and then adding it on that first day of week 3. You add it in all day long. You have some at breakfast, you have a different version for lunch, and then you have a different version for dinner, maybe even a snack. And you see if that food has any reaction in your body. Do you notice headaches? Do you notice congestion? Do you notice skin rashy or itchy? Do you notice brain fog, tiredness, whatever it might be? If you notice any of those things, that food probably doesn't align with you very well. But if you notice nothing, that food's probably okay. So your goal is to learn your food triggers over the next year so that as you prepare for the next allergy season, you can really make sure to stay off of those. Avoid processed foods. Processed foods, unfortunately, just don't do any good for us. And so if our body's already fighting allergens, we also don't want it to fight the foods we're eating. So we just want to eliminate any obstacles so that the body can really support all the allergens coming in properly. Lastly, focus on organic foods. Again, non-organic foods are sprayed heavily with pesticides, herbicides, these different chemicals that are supposed to increase the crop health. The problem is that they're not great for us. So glyphosate is one of the top pesticides that our bodies are getting, and it is just, research is coming out now how harmful it is. So organic is going to be the best possible. And EWG, which is Environmental Working Group, which we noticed on a couple of slides back, they do some amazing research that is free online, and I'll link it in the email, but it's got the Dirty Dozen list. So it's saying Dirty Dozen, Clean 15. These 12 things, if you can buy anything organic, choose these because they're the highest rate of pesticide exposure. The clean 15, if we can't get everything organic, that's fine. These 15 are safe to probably get non-organically. So really focus on organic just so that we are eliminating extra chemicals in the body. Other lifestyle choices. So get a really good home air filter. That may seem like a silly thing, but it is a game changer. If you suffer with allergies a lot, we've got to get the air clean so that way you're breathing in clean air. Run a humidifier with good quality peppermint essential oil. That's going to be a great thing. If you need a link, I've got a direct link to that from a colleague of mine, and so we can get you some really good peppermint oil to just, again, help clear the air. Infrared saunas or steam rooms are great because then you're sweating all the gunk out, so it's coming out anyway. Neti pot, which is great because then it's a nasal rinse. Obviously, support your liver and detox with whole food-based supplements. Check your home or your work for mold. So I run a hair test with clients, and it shows us if your body has a lot of mold present and how that's affecting you. And a really quick story, a client of mine has had long-term sinus infections. And every year, allergies are just horrible. And she's always taking all of the medications that support it and all that. And this year, she came to the office this last week, and she says, actually, I haven't had a sinus infection yet this year. And my allergies, they seem okay. Well, interestingly, back in September, we ran a hair test on her, and we found that her top interference or resistance, as this test calls it, is mold. She goes, wait, I just moved into this house. I don't think there's any mold. I said, well, your body's showing there's mold, and you work from home. And I said, well, you work from home, and so I'm not sure where exactly it is, but we've got to figure out why you have mold. So she had a mold inspector come out to her house, and up in the crawl space, they found so much black mold. And they got it removed, taken care of, and no joke, within 2 days, she said, I can't believe this. My allergies are still a little there, but they are so much better. And my brain fog is better. I feel so much better. Because mold, my friends, is not something you want to mess with. And then a couple months later, she did our annual cleanse. And she came in this last week and she says, I have never felt better after that. So shameless plug for the cleanse. It's something everyone can benefit from at the beginning of the year, in the middle of the year. But when we have gotten rid of the mold and then we detox her liver, support detoxification, her sinuses cleared so beautifully and she feels so much better with her immune system. So we've got to make sure you can check your house for mold. Get adjusted regularly, and acupuncture can really help too. So these are some great 2 slides of dietary and lifestyle changes you can make to really support your immune system and support your body during allergy season. Moving on to the whole food-based supplements, which are game changers for people. So first we'll talk about the adults and then work on the kids. So these are the 3 products that I like to use with adults. Everything that we give is going to be food-based because I believe that our bodies were designed to utilize food to support itself. And so we're going to use food to get all of the things that we need. So the first is Allerplex, which is a very fitting name because it is supporting your body's response to allergens. It's going to help with liver function, with lung and respiratory function, and it's foods that are going to help support the immune system response as the allergens come in. Now I'm going to pop over here to Antranex first. Antranex is a liver enzyme found by Japanese researchers, and it's an extract from beef liver. And what it does is it's supposed to open up the garbage can, as we talked about before. So if this is your garbage can, the toxins are going in. If they're overflowing, what the Antranex will do, or what this ingredient called the Yakatron will do, is it will basically open up the pathways through the liver. So that way, instead of overflowing, all the toxins then can properly go through the liver as it's supposed to. So Antranex is really supportive of that detoxification as the Allerplex is working on the immune system. And then cod liver oil is hands down the best oil that I have for people. And it's really amazing because it naturally comes with vitamin D and vitamin A. Back in the early 1900s and before, what kids would do in the schoolyard is they would line up. A teacher would take a spoon of cod liver oil, pour some, give it to the kid would move around, the next child would come into the line, pour, same spoon, give the cod liver oil, and this was a daily routine during the school day. Because cod liver oil historically has been so beneficial for so many things, whether it's brain health, cardiovascular health, joint health, and in our case, immune health. So cod liver oil is an absolute must if you have allergies. And not every oil is the same. That is why all the supplements that I give are food-based. They are from very credible sources. They are from good quality animals or plants, and they are going to give you the highest benefit for your body. So these are the allergy supports for adults. Now we move on to kids. It's going to be a little bit different. I would love for the child to have cod liver oil if they would love to chew it. It's going to taste like cod liver oil. My daughter loves her cod liver oil, but she's been raised on these supplements. A lot of kids are not going to be fond of the taste. So I switched to a liquid, which is a calamari oil, which is equally as amazing. The only thing is it doesn't have the vitamin A and vitamin D in it naturally, but that's okay. It's still going to be an amazing oil and it's liquid, so they can just drink it, or it's an orange flavor. So you can also blend it into a smoothie or some applesauce or something else. SP Children's Immune is an amazing product. It's a wafer that's chewable, and it's going to have prebiotic and 2FLs, which is going to support the probiotics in the body. So it's really, really important, that piece. And it's also got colostrum with also some vitamins and minerals in it. So this is a great immune and gut support combined. And then the version for kids of Antronex is going to be D-Hist Junior. It's a chewable. Again, they taste really great, like a little sweet tart. It's going to give the liver support to detox the body. So this is great allergy support for kids overall. Now, another thing that we can add to this is going to be a really good quality probiotic, which the Children's Immune, the prebiotic in there will then feed the probiotic to support the immune system housed within the gut. So those are going to be the four main things that we talk about when it comes to child allergy support. So I want to share with you Diana's review. She came into the office a few years ago and she said, "Oh, my allergies are so bad." And I was like, "I have a solution for you that can be really helpful." And she's like, "Oh, I don't think so." And I said, "Just trust me. Trust me." And she's like, "Okay, that's fine. I'll trust you." And here's what she has to say.
Hi there, my name is Diana, and these are my supplements. I wanted to tell you about my experience and working with Jessica and taking these products for my allergies. About a year ago, I was going in for an adjustment at Corrective Chiropractic, and I believe I was late, and I was explaining to Jessica that it was because I was having a really bad day with my allergies, and I don't know if I had a headache that day or just woke up in a really bad fog. And she told me to stop by and talk to her before I left that day. So I did. And she said, "I have some supplements that I think you should try." Now, I am not a good supplement taker. I forget. I don't know if I believe that they actually work. So I listened to her, and she had mentioned that a client had just left that was taking them and felt some relief. And I just decided, why not? Let me try them. You know, it's worth a try. If you don't try, you don't know. So let me backtrack by saying I've been suffering from allergies for about almost 25 years. And every day during allergy season, I have to take a Zyrtec, spray my nose with Flonase, and put some eye drops in. So it was quite the regimen before I'd even be able to step outside my door. Anyway, decided to try I tried these two products first, and I wasn't a believer. I said, sure, what the heck. Went home, tried them, and I am not kidding you. It didn't even take a week for them to take effect, and I have not taken a Zyrtec since. The only thing that I still do is use eye drops, and even then, that has lessened quite a bit. You know, I still do get some itchy eyes, but really not as much as I used to. Amazing. And so these are supplements that I do not forget to take because they really work. So much so that one day I was back getting an adjustment and I heard a woman who sounded a lot like me and didn't believe that these would work for her, to which I had to pipe up pretty quickly and tell her, look, I didn't believe that they would help. They help tremendously. So do yourself a favor and try it. I'd much rather take this than my Zyrtec and my Flonase. So yeah, listen to Jessica. She knows what she's talking about.
Isn't that amazing? I mean, I love testimonials like that because food is so powerful. It's so powerful. And she went from a truly very strong critic being like, "Jessica, is this even real?" to, "I'm not going to be without these because they have really changed this season for me." And that's the goal. Is we just want to utilize food well, utilize our lifestyle choices well, so that our bodies can function well, because we get one shot with this body. And it's a miracle. The whole thing, the more I learn about the body, it's a true miracle. So I want you and your body and your child's body to thrive. So let's get you started on some good stuff. Now, because you are committed to this health and you have attended this webinar, even or listening to the recording, I want to give you 10% off of your whole food supplements. And so here's how that's going to work. This QR code right here that you will scan with your phone, and it will bring you to an online portal where you will have access to different whole food based supplements. So you'll put your email in and get signed up for that, and then send me an email, jessica@mylywellness.com. I will set up your discount. I have to go in manually and do it on your account specifically. So I want to make sure that you get that 10%. So just send me an email, say, hey, I'm all signed up. Can you please add the discount? Happy to do that. You'll order your whole food supplements. It will already bring you to the allergy support, and you'll pick the adult one. If you are looking for the kids supplements, send me that email as well once you let me know you've signed up for your account, and I will personally add the supplements to your cart. The way that the system works, it won't let me add the specific children's supplements that I've chosen to a template like this to share with you, which is fine. I just want to make sure that you get them. So send me in an email that you would like the children's supplements as well. So I am so excited for you to get started because I think your seasonal allergy life can be changed by utilizing these whole food supplements, by utilizing these lifestyle changes and these dietary changes. So thank you so much for listening. If you have any questions at all, send me an email. I would love to talk more about it. If you want to deep dive into what your body needs specifically through a hair test or muscle testing or any other things we do in the office, would love to partner with you and or your child. So again, send me an email, send up for a consultation, and we can see how we can better support your body. So thanks so much. Looking forward to talking with you soon.